G'day, Adam the Aussie, another review time. Have a look at this huge thing. That's what we're going to have a look at today. It's the Kangertech Turbo, Aerotank Turbo. Pretty big, and there's a lot to get through, so I won't waffle on too much. I know it's only a clearomizer review, but with this particular clearomizer there's a lot to talk about, so I'll get through it as quickly as I can for you. Let's go through some numbers first, get that out of the way. All the info's on the box, which is good. Comes in a good sturdy box with all the gear, instruction manual, anti-counterfeiting stuff. They were 2 spare heads that came with it, so it comes with 2 installed and 2 spares. So that's what comes in the box. Price-wise, you're looking at the US sites have it 50 to 55 bucks. Aussie sites are the 60 to 65, and obviously, as always, you can get it a bit cheaper from China. So that's the ballpark figures price-wise. What is it? It's a not dual coil. Takes 2 heads, 2 Kanger dual coil heads internally. So we've got quad coil, I guess you'd call it. Holds 6 ml of juice, which is good juice capacity. Stainless steel Pyrex glass, removable drip tip, you beauty. Massive adjustable airflow. You can go from barely any to jet plane sort of stuff with your airflow, which is good. Adjustable 510 pin, fantastic, and it works really well, nice and smooth, easy to adjust. What else do we need to tell you about it? That's about it for the basics. The way I thought I'd do this review, because there's so much to talk about, we'll just run through the good, the bad and the ugly about it and sum it up at the end, I suppose. Where we'll start with is the good. It's really well built. It is quality. You know, it's a massive device, but it's glass and stainless steel. Everything that moves does it really smoothly, and yeah, so quality wise it's fantastic. The vape quality with it is, with the right device, and we'll talk about that down the track, but with the right device, something that can go 20 watts plus, the vape is fantastic too. It gives a really good vape, the flavour, the vapour, the kick in the throat, it's all there for you. So that's all upside. Juice capacity 6 ml, can't complain. It still has the bugbear of mine. You know, that's meant to be full. As you can see, there's a lot more room for liquid. Tom's Q-tip method doesn't give us much advantage with this one, because the air channels sit right up at the top of the threads, and when you flip it over, all the liquid drops down into this section. So Tom's Q-tip method is no good with the turbo. The airflow control, it is massive. It goes from, it's got five holes. What size they are, I don't know, big, and you can obviously turn it right down to, as little as half a hole if you like, sort of thing. So a massive range of your airflow control there, which is fantastic. Removable drip tip, as we said, that's got to be a win. You can use your favourite drip tip. So far the core life has been really good. I've got some high VG juice in here, and it's been 5 days I reckon on these coils, and the flavour and vapour production is really good, which we'll see in a minute. And the adjustable pin, as I said, works really well, so that's definitely a big plus. That's the good. The bad, not necessarily bad, but it's heavy. It is massively heavy. For a clearomizer, it's out of the ballpark. Roughly 150 grams. Now, to give you a bit of an idea, I'll probably there's a Provari 18490 version with a battery. That's about 150 grams. So they're about the same weight. So if to get that, yeah, heavy. Okay, size. It doesn't look good on much. It's you know, I guess if you had your big you know, 26 650 mods. Well, actually, I've got one of them. I'll put it on there and we'll have a look. But it's not going to look great on many devices. Okay, so if you're into looks and that smooth finish and all that sort of thing, not real good. So looks okay. That's on the BAM with a kick in there, and that's the other downfall. Well, that battery must be something going on there. Anyway, probably not a battery in it. So that's, yeah, doesn't look good on much. You need a high powered device to run it. If you're thinking of buying this to put on your MVP or something like that, it's not going to give you a very satisfying vape. I've been running it on my EPM, which goes up to 34 watts. 20 watts is sort of the lowest I'll run the Kanger Turbo at. So you need a device that, you know, will do at least 20 up to 30 if you're looking for the vape that this can provide. So if you're not looking for a big vape anyway, it'll work on the MVP, but if you're not looking for a big vape, you don't want to buy this device anyway. Okay, so this is for people looking for something more than the regular clearomizer, but don't want to rebuild. Okay, so that's who this one is aimed at. So yeah, another downside. It takes two heads to provide that really good vape that it can provide. So if every time you change it, you have to change two heads, unless there's, and I'm sure there's a way you could check which is an okay head and which one's not. We've all had dud heads. That didn't come out right. We've all had heads that don't work as well as others. So you're putting two in, and you may be getting a burnt taste. But how to distinguish which one is providing that? As I said, I'm sure there's a way, but it'd be a lot of stuffing around. So every time you replace the heads in this, you're replacing two. So you're up for $5 or $6 every time you change your coils. You can rebuild them and all that sort of stuff. But again, if you're rebuilding, you know, buy a rebuildable. It would be my, you know, that you can tailor the vape to what you want. So just be aware of that. It's going to take two heads. It's going to be a little more costly to run than your traditional clearomizer. That's sort of it for the good, the bad. Let's have a look at how it works. So I'll rip the drip tip out. I'm not going to pull it to bits because it's full of juice. Before we talk about that, let's have a vape. So I've got my EPM sit here at 20 watts, and it goes a little something like this. Geez, that's nice. That is way too airy for me. I left it on the full 5 holes. I should have been going straight to the lungs with that one, but I normally run it on about 2 holes, something like that. Yeah, and it provides a vape that I've never had from a clearomizer before. Taste-wise, it's fantastic. It's, you know, it's in the ballpark of the BBC coils that come with the Nautilus and the Nautilus Mini. It's in that stratosphere, which is, you know, the top of the rung taste-wise for a clearomizer. They don't get any better than that. So, look, is it better? Probably not, but it's, if it's not as good, it's not far behind. The flavour's really good, the vapour's really good. It's given juices that I didn't think had any throat hit, which is fantastic. I've got some unicorn milk in there from Cutwood, which is very light throat hit juice. Whack it in the turbo and I'm getting a bit more kick, so that's an upside there. Okay, back to how it works. like any clearo, pretty much. The base screws off, you fill it up, screw the base back on, and away you go. So the only difference being it's got this ring here which tightens the base section onto the main body. It's a great idea, the threading on it's really good. A little bit more knurling might have been okay. Look, if you've got nice dry hands and your tank's nice and dry, it works fine. If you've spilled a bit of juice on your fingers and they're a bit slippery, it can be a bit of a pain to undo. But we're going all right here. So that whole base section comes off. You see your two heads sit in there, and I'm not going to tip that over because it's but basically, yeah, it looks the same as any other Kangertech except it's got two air tubes running up the middle. So and the reason Tom's Q-tip method doesn't work is, as you can see, those air channels come basically to the top of that section anyway. So yeah, but 6mm are a good amount to have on board. Got your two heads in there, and yeah, it just screws back on that way. Yep, I'm going to make this look harder than it is. So you screw that middle ring nice and tight, and we're back in action. So that's how they work. The heads screw in and out like any other clearo, and away you go. So look, if you've got the right device, this will be a great tank for you. Okay, so if you've got something that can do at least 20 watts, maybe 30, this will vape really well. It's if you're looking at whacking this on an MVP, or say if you've got one of the old Vamos that only goes up to 15 watts, just get a Nautilus, or just get a Aerotank Mega, because the device you've got will work better with that style of clearomizer. Okay, so not only will the weight of this probably stuff the threads on something like an MVP, so that's the other thing. You've got to be careful what you put it on as well. While we're talking about being careful, if you are going to buy this, if you have got a device you think that'll run this well and is going to suit what you're after, just be aware of battery safety. Okay, Kanger do heads down to 0.8, I reckon. Not that I've got any, but I think they do sub-ohm heads anyway. So if you whack 2.8 ohm heads in here, you're down to 0.4 ohms. Which, if you whack it on a device which doesn't have the right batteries, you can blow your teeth out. So we don't want anyone getting hurt. If you're not sure about battery safety and you're considering buying this device, do some homework, study battery safety. Look, we don't want anyone getting hurt. So yeah, that's the little warning there. That's about it. I don't know. Is it good? Is it bad? On the right device, it's great. Okay. But if you haven't got a device that will power it, the other good thing, so if you've got a Hana or a Chinese version of that, I've got the Spider-Man version. They're coming out with all versions now, aren't they? Pretty cool. I just pinch my kids' stickers actually, but if I didn't think it would work with this, because as we know, with this style of device, has the ring there which prevents something wider than, I don't know what that ring is, 22mm, something like that, screwing in. But because we've got an adjustable pin there, it works fine. The adjustable pin works so well. It says you need a screwdriver. I've only got short nails, but I'll just sit my nail in there and give it a turn, and that pin comes out, no worries. It's really well done. Screws on. Might have to screw it out a bit further. Give me 2 ticks. Now we'll hit the mark, I reckon. Why isn't that working? Well, maybe it is working. I've got it turned down too low. Hang on. That's exactly what I was saying 2 seconds ago. I had me box mod there set to 10.5 watts, which I vape my Nautilus Mini at. Put this bad boy on there and it was giving me no vapour, I thought it wasn't firing. Okay, now an MVP only goes up to 11. It's not going to work on that style of device. Get a device that'll go up to 30 watts, EPM. Look, they're out there. There's plenty of devices with plenty of power that will give you a really good experience with the Kangertech Aerotank Turbo. Is it good? Is it bad? You decide. That's the information. Now, just before we go, the last thing, I've had a few people emailing me or contact me through YouTube just asking if I get my devices for review or if I pay for them. I pay for them. No one's silly enough to give me a device for nothing yet. If that ever happens, which I doubt it will, I'll be sure to mention that at the start of the review. But everything I review, I pay for with my hard-earned cash. So that's it. All done. See you again soon. Cheers.